Howdy, howdy. Can you guys see me, hear me, feel me? May not have enough light here, or it may be just right. Hey, lass, can you guys see me? I'm off kilter here, way off. Oh well, there we go. There we go. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? Hey, Pam. Hey, Maria. Thank you. I'm going to sit here for just a little bit, but not too long. I'm sitting on a stool, so. Yeah, I know, Candy. I was going to mention that and get that over with back here. This is the corner of the porch just outside this room that I never get good reception. So, and I've noticed when I'm down on this end that I don't get good reception at all. So that's better, Tim. Awesome. Awesome. Thought I'd start out back here. This room is warmer than the others because I've been partially heating these tanks, which is the room temperature with ambient temperature. So welcome everybody. Was surprised to find all you people in here. So awesome. Ed has agreed to guest with me again this week, so I'm going to go ahead and get him up here. The Ed. Banned from studio. I don't want to do that. I want him up here. Hey, Ed, welcome. Have I got your sound muted again? Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear Ed? We went through this last week. Hey, Mick AM. Can you guys hear Ed? Hey, Amber. I guess they can't hear me either, Ed. Can you hear me, Ed? Okay. Can you guys hear Ed? Okay, so it's on your end, Ed. It's not me, I guess. Unless I muted you somehow. Let me go back out. No, you're not muted. Last week I had muted you, but you're not this week. So I don't know what's up. We have to be able to hear the Ed.
Testing 1 2.
There you go. 1 2. We heard you. I heard
1
you.
2 1 2.
Yep, I can hear you.
Awesome.
You can hear Ed now. Thanks, Melvin. Thanks, Pam. Laz, you can hear us? Pam, I've only had you on one time. Pam, he always mutes me. Well, I guess that's true. I guess I did mute you that one time. At least I didn't block you like I did Candy the first time, you know. How are you doing, Ed?
I'm doing great, Bob. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I just had a shower. I've been working on projects all day and had to get all kinds of fish stuff off of me. So you've been out by the pool, I think I heard on the streets.
Yeah, I was in my pool for a long time today, and I'm going to hit my dark room. I worked too many years in the dark room. I'm going to hit the fish room after the stream and listen to Danikin from there.
Awesome.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Danikin will be live tonight or what he's doing.
I meant to message him. We've tried to message each other today, and he'll get like 7. Are you getting my messages from me? And I only send it once, and then I'll get like 4 from him that says, I got 7 of your message, you know, so it's weird where he's at. So I don't know. We'll just pretend he is, I guess.
Yep.
Maybe he'll be in here, I hope, and let us know. What's Sean up to? Candy's in here. Welcome, Candy. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, mods. I did a couple of new mods tonight. You guys will probably notice when you go through, just to have a little backup. If we're going to have Ed bringing people over here, Ed and I have the same people, I'm teasing. Ed's going to be bringing some of his unruly people.
My cats.
Yeah, your cats. We need it for your cat. But yeah, we've got a topic tonight, but we're not going to spend an hour on that. I just thought we'd so that we could say it was like an educational content and have a discussion, and it may go well. I mean, I'm sure that it's something people would want to talk about. And I've had a couple experiences lately that I thought, this would be a good thing to talk about and just discuss. I realize I'm in the dark, and I kind of like it that way. I found as I get older, I look better in the dark. So there you go. So mean, Scott. Candy, I know that you know how to take care of that. Giving you grief. Be careful, Sean. You know. But yeah, I'm going to get out of this room pretty quick, but I was just going to show you guys. I finally got the much talked about gravel. I think you can see there in the tanks. Too lazy to stand up. It's too much effort till I head out. But yeah, they all have their layer of gravel in there. And full disclosure, I had one of the rainbows. I still have not labeled them, and still haven't done my taxes either. So probably taxes are more important than playing with fish, but so far I haven't given it precedence. But that one fish that was not doing well, that did well then later in that second tank, the first one there now, it had passed this morning when I came in, which is really weird because it ate. It got better after the first day. And of course, I sent a video of it dead to Dan just to let him know, because he's so tight and strict with his tracking. He maintains that it might have got injured when it was put in the bag, but it came out of the bag looking fine unless I overlooked something. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Scott. And I don't know. All I did was a little water change the other day in a little Metro, which that couldn't have done really anything. So today I did the water change too, just since he had passed. And also I put gravel in, so that made it a little cloudy. So there we go. Plants are next on the agenda. They've got their heaters and their bubblers and their filters and their gravel, and they're one rock. They're allowed one rock. And so plants are next. All right, guys, I'm going to get up and walk around and get out of here. It is hot in this room. Phew. Pam?
Those tanks look great, Bob.
Yeah, Lucas was on a while ago, as I'm sure almost everybody in here, if not everybody, knows. And I asked him, because he was in a stream I did just impromptu last night. And yeah, the fish have learned that I'm the food bringer. So they watched me. They've eaten twice today, so they're not getting anything else. It's all just cruising. But yeah, they turned out good. I'm anxious to see yours, Ed. The filters I was complaining about, I pieced back together, and Rob talked to me to make sure I knew how to use them, and I did. It was just my clumsiness. I was kind of flattered that he watched my video and saw me complaining about them, but I did say that's the ones that I lost one of. And that was one of my favorite ones, and I don't know the name. So I think Maria Z got those also. She got some of these same rainbows. So guys, I'm out of here to someplace that's cooler. Ooh, any place but that room. So what you been doing today, Ed? You said you were out at the pool.
Yeah, I'm also planning. I bought this really cool pot at that storage place, that's down there by Sam's.
Yeah.
Or salvage place. I think it's called Southland's. I think it's called Southland's Salvage.
Only Highway?
Yes.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, I bought a 4-foot pot. It's like a great big square pot that's just really neat, and it's all glazed, and it's got bumps all over it. And it fits. I thought it would fit perfect for my aquascape tank that I got in Maryland, as a pedestal, and just be really nifty. The problem is the hole in the pot isn't a perfect square. So now what I'm going to do is cut a square piece of wood and drop it in there, so I have a nice base for the tank.
Oh, cool. That'll be nice.
And now I got to figure out where to put it.
Yeah. I'm in that same predicament with the 55 that I still have sitting in the garage, but I finally moved Nelson, the blue-tongued skink, in here. He's over there on the buffet in the dining room with the snake that's on an end table. So I officially have a reptile room in my dining room.
Nice.
I just have to decide where to put that 55. It's going to go in here somewhere. I have a wall that has like 4 or 5 feet open in my bedroom, and it's like the bedroom feels empty. But every other wall is furniture's touching and tanks are touching all around. It's weird.
I saw that video. It looked pretty cool. How your reptile room, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I might have had that live stream last night. I can't remember. Poor Nelson
That was
is
pretty cool.
scared. He's scared. He stays hidden under the big piece of bark that Maria Z sent for Sandy the snake. But Sandy's got the smaller piece. The big piece wouldn't fit in there, but he stayed hid in there. But he's mustered up enough courage to come out and eat today. So I made sure he ate.
Just the new surroundings is what makes him afraid, or
Apparently, and he definitely recognizes me because when I go in there, and also I always tap on the can when I'm about to feed him. You know, they eat cat food, dog food, any kind of good food with vitamins and stuff in it. And so he hears that, of course, but he recognizes me because he gets excited when he sees me come in. So, but of course, I'm the only person he's seen for a long time. So. Yeah, it's different in there. He's still got his blue background and everything. I tried to match it the same when I put new substrate in. I'm sure that's new for him, a different kind. But he's under that big piece of cork bark, so he'll be okay. He'll settle in. Phew.
now can you like pick him up and walk around with him?
Yeah, I can hold him. I actually had to do that when I brought him in here. He wouldn't fit in the thing that I bought him in anymore. It's like, like a pie cake plastic thing that you would get a cake in. Well, y'all have probably seen how you get the reptiles, and just a round thing. He wouldn't fit in that. He's twice as big, at least, maybe more than he was, and I couldn't even wrestle him into that. And so I put him in the box that I had saved from when I got the parakeets several months ago. And that's bigger and it's square. But he watched me. He watched me move all of his stuff. I could see him looking out the little screen window. Poor guy or girl. Maybe a girl. I may take him tomorrow and get him sexed at that vet. So we'll see. I'm just curious now. Did such a good job with little Sandy. Now I'm curious to see how, now that I've had Nelson probably close to a year, see how he's doing or she's doing. And Daniken's going to be there soon, and I haven't videoed your room, so I may have to give Daniken rights to video your fish room first.
Well, you'll have to come over when he does or something.
I can do that. Yeah,
you can tag team him.
Yeah, it'd be a good time to see him. That doesn't mean I'm going to get screwed out of going to get cake now, does it?
Oh no.
Okay.
We'll definitely do that.
Okay.
That's a for sure. Well, the cake is near you.
Right, City Cafe. Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, I'm eager to see him. He's having the time of his life, he was saying on his video this morning. He's up early.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, he was on early because when I got up, it had been like 3 hours. He sent us one, to our messenger channel, us guys, YouTube bros or whatever we're on. He sent us there's a little bit on there. It's about 10 minutes, so check it out if you hadn't seen it. If you've been out all day, you hadn't seen it. So.
Yeah, actually, I woke up today like at maybe around 10:30, but I had a migraine, so I just went right back to sleep and didn't get up until about 1, and then I just went outside.
You said you've had those your whole life, or didn't you say you'd had them since you were little?
Oh, migraines, yeah.
Yeah.
I think once I hit like puberty, probably around 12 or 13, I started getting them. Yeah, they're not much fun.
No.
It's sinus related because my sinuses don't drain properly behind my eyes.
I could do one of those COVID swaps on you and open those sinuses up,
Yeah.
I'm still got my license, my nursing license, so I could do that for you.
Have you had one of those?
No, and I don't want one of them either. The day
they look scary.
Yeah, they look like almost like a lobotomy kind of thing. But no, the day I was supposed to go get one prior to having a little lump taken out of my neck, I called and canceled. I said, no, I'm not doing it. I didn't want the test, but I didn't want the surgery either. I don't need it right now. That lump's been there 2 years. So.
Well, when I had my test at the hospital, though, it was really easy. because when they admitted me, because they thought that my heart was gonna pop, but it didn't.
Right.
They just swabbed my throat, and they knew
That's,
within like 15 minutes.
that's the way they did my sister. She was telling me at the Ark the other day that she got really sick and had to go, and didn't tell me before. I'm like, well, what if you had died? You know, where I guess the kids would have told me afterward, the 40-year-old kids. But hers was negative. It was just something else. It's time for flu shots, everybody. I know a lot of people don't get them, but
Wow,
I do.
crazy.
I do. I had the flu one year when I first went to Blue Cross, and they made me work sick for a week. And of course, I gave it to everybody in the cubicles around me, but I kept my job. I'll never get that again. Whew.
Yeah, they used to come into the factory and give us all free shots that wanted them. Tetanus shots and flu shots.
Yeah,
I'd sign up every year. I never understood the people that didn't sign up.
they're free. Well, a lot of people, you know, are anti-vaccine for kids and all that, and there are some merits to some of those arguments. So it's free choice. So whatever, you know. But I said I would, if I had the opportunity. I've never had a flu shot make me sick, but I've sure had the flu once from not having the flu shot. So never again.
And you always get a Tootsie Roll or something afterwards, too.
Yeah, I go to a Walgreens pharmacy now, and it's free. And I asked for one. They know I'm diabetic because they do all my diabetic supplies. And she's like, "Are you supposed to have it?" I'm like, "No, but I want it anyway." No,
That's funny.
no. How many things we do we're not supposed to do?
Right.
What's going on in this chat? Lily says, yeah, Lily, I remember. Hey, Lily, and welcome. I hadn't seen YouTube, but maybe one or two of the streams, but it's hard to see. Lily's a good channel to follow. I say that about everybody. No, I don't ever. Everybody, but she's in Florida and she's retired, and her husband lived there, and he had it, and then I guess you got it too, Lily. So, and like me, they're seniors, so I'm glad y'all came through that. That was scary. Catfish Terry.
Amber says my tank looks green behind me. Thank you. All the green is on the top because I've got geophagus in there, so it has to be all floating. So it's all floating water sprite. Oh, darn. Well, I don't want to mess with it. I might lose control.
Yeah, I know how that is. Well, you know, I heard you say, go ahead.
The bottom half of the tank is just sand and some wood, so it looks a little different.
I heard you say that on another stream, yours or James or somewhere that you were at, maybe Chris, that that your geophagus pulled your plants up, or you didn't have plants because now I don't have trouble with mine pulling anything up, even like the fake plants, they won't pull it up. Uh-oh. There's James. Say his name, and there he is. Fish Room Fever, 99 cents. I can't see what it is, but I can guess
poop.
what it is.
It's a poop.
You must be looking through my. Thank you, James, for pooping on our screen. Thank you very much. But anyway, mine don't. They don't pull anything up, Ed.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. You might try something, but they never rearrange things in there. They will eat like the romaine lettuce and kelp, you know, the dried kelp. They'll eat stuff, but they don't mess with the. Now they might real plants. I don't know. You might try it, but I heard Lucas say that his pulled it up too. So I don't know.
I never gave mine the opportunity. I have some little pots though, and I could put like some jungle val or something in there, and so I've got some like 2-foot streams of it.
Yeah.
I've got a 40 tall or maybe it's a 45 tall. It's like a straight up and down tank, just a square. I was thinking about putting all that jungle val in there because it's so long.
That would be great if they'll leave it alone. They might graze it off, but I don't know if they pull it up or not. They might. There's Ian. There's Big J's. I'm like you. I'm afraid to mess with anything. Really afraid to. Kurt. Diego, Lisa Perez, Chevy Fish. Got 67 people in here. My goodness. Sandy Dowdy.
Wow.
Wonder how that happened. Usually it's between 40 and 50. So maybe you did bring some people, Ed. Thank
All
you.
right.
Pam, Joseph. Wow, it goes on and on. Mr. B's Fishing Things, Brandon. James, Fish Room Fever.
I wonder how Amber's all-girl video show went last night.
I watched a little bit of it, and it was very interesting. Of course, they had great people on there, and I enjoyed it. I think I caught about the last 30 minutes of it. So I think Joseph got some grief, but you'll have to watch it to see what I'm talking about. They were giving Joseph a hard time, or maybe the chat was. I don't know. There's Peter from Mob Guppy, Peaceful Aqua. Wow. All these people. That's as far as it'll let me go back. Heplin Creek said it was fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Bryce from Gnarly. Yep. 70 people.
In the stream I was in last night, I was over at my sister's house because we were having a barbecue. And my niece-in-law, I guess that's what you call her, from Texas called right at the end of the stream and told everybody that she was pregnant again. So they were all cheering in there. And I guess that bled over on the stream.
I heard some ruckus. I wondered what that was. That's great.
Yep.
Great.
So
that's the one that just had the baby, Viston?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Dustin. Or no, is it not Dustin? Dustin sounds better. It's something stupid. Oh, well. I shouldn't have said stupid. It's something awkward.
That baby's what? Just a couple of months old?
Maybe 7 months. I don't know.
Wow. Oh, okay. That's not bad.
I think he was born in January. So, January or February.
Yeah. That's not too bad for her. She'll have 2 in diapers, though. Wow. It's not bad for
That's
her.
gross.
Right. Yeah, it is gross. I went well. Amber said it went well. Thanks for hanging out, Bob. Doing another one Saturday, same time. Awesome. Awesome. So you can catch that one, Ed.
Yep. You may have to get a wig and so you can go on there. You could be Bob.
I donated money to Joseph today in his stream for a wig. Oh, you were there.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. You know what? I left halfway through and jumped in the pool. I was terrible. But I didn't want to say, guys, I'm going. So I just left quietly.
And see, you're not supposed. Did you get to eat?
I did eat.
Okay. When we
had some
talked
tacos
before Joseph's stream, you said you had to get something to eat. And I said later, and then I went in Joseph's stream, and there you were. I said, well, yeah, it blew me off and went in that stream.
Well, I was looking for something to listen to when while I'm in the pool, and then they went live, and it's like, oh, I got to say hi.
Right. I do that. I'm really bad about that, and I'll almost let my phone run down, or I hate to sit at the computer all the time. It's nice to get away from the dogs sometimes.
Well, you can't do it a live stream. Listen to live streams in the pool because I want to say things to people. And so I'm constantly going back over to the side of the pool to say something. So now what I do is I try to find like sports talk or something, or just music. But yeah, I listened to a Father's Fish stream once, and I was like, I had to keep going over and saying hi.
to comment, yeah, and say hello to everybody. And, well, let's see if anybody's interested in talking about our topic, which eludes me. I was trying to see if I could see the description from here. You're on, I know what it is, but I had like 3 parts to it. Do you mind reading it, Ed?
Let me try. I've got a cat on my right arm, so I'm
I know everybody here has read it, so Candy could copy and paste it.
Oh, hang on.
So
everything's.
I close YouTube because it recommends doing that. So I try to do it right so I don't get into trouble.
Every time I see, what I did was I put the pop out chat over everything and shut the other page off. Ah, Nico, I'm sorry, buddy, but I got to use my right arm.
Oh,
Sorry,
tater
kitty.
salad. Thank you. He says, enjoy your content. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. And that's the Danish KK. I can't remember what it means, but thank you very much. There's Joseph.
Okay. Who should I trust, Bob? Was that what you?
Yeah, who should I trust? And then there's a description down below there. Kind of had rambled a little bit about you being here and said, next time I'll make sure I can see that. Actually, I could go in.
Hang on, I've got my pop out chat.
You didn't know you were going to have to work. Huh,
Interview discussion, yeah, with guest co-host Chattanooga Ed, streaming and chat members. Our main topic focus should be around who should the new and any fish keepers trust for advice. Oh, that's pretty good. We will all look at some of these issues. Can we get advice from multiple sources? The frustrations of getting bad advice that can, I have to click a button and see what's more, show more.
I kind of know what the last one is.
Okay. The person who knows everything is the posts it in every chat. Well, right. Is that okay?
Thank you. Any thoughts or comments since you're on it?
Well, last night I said something, and I really appreciate Candy posting a thing. Hang on, I just lost everything again. It just keeps moving on me. Well, how about I just flip it upwards? I'm not looking at it. I said that we're talking to Jessie from Maine's Tails Fish and Fins. And she was saying, why does her plant always make babies when she first plants it? And so my guess was a lot of times plants, when they're in a new environment, they think they're dying before they actually take hold and get strong. And sometimes plants start to sprout babies trying to add to their life. But Candy said that I was wrong because that's the wrong type of plant, which was awesome that she was there to say that. So I shouldn't have said anything.
And there's a lesson in that. I mean, not for you, but for all of us sometimes. And it's hard for me sometimes. I try to keep my mouth shut unless I'm pretty sure about something. And a lot of times I know something and I just don't want to involve myself in it. I don't want to debate and I don't want to argue because things turn into that sometimes. But I felt sorry. Actually, it was Catfish Terry, I think, is here. I'm sure he is. He was a good example this morning. I'm going to use you, Terry, if you don't mind. Some of you know that he's a dear friend of Nathan's, Sand Creek Aquatics, and Nathan brought many of us to Terry and Terry to us. So Terry had joined the hobby, of course. We sucked him right in. And so he's new to the hobby, fairly new. And so he's already got a tank and he's got him some fish and he's done apparently very well. His tank cycled, his fish look great. I saw him this morning. And but I noticed something that when he would ask a question, and sometimes he would say, well, so-and-so told me don't do that, or somebody else told me the opposite of that. And I thought, if he's saying this, Terry is maybe my age, I don't know, maybe younger, but he's an adult, and if he's having that much trouble with, mixed signals and misinformation and all that, how hard is it for anybody, any of us to go into something new and, get 10 different opinions? And it's sometimes hard to remember that our opinion is an opinion. It's not necessarily a fact. It's not necessarily scientific. sometimes, and I love it when people say in my experience, because that at least qualifies that that's what's happened with them, but it may not happen with you or with everybody else. But I really felt bad for him. And then I kind of remembered how I felt about 2 years ago about this time when I was getting in the saltwater. Because, I was trying to follow some of the saltwater channels, which I do now, and a couple follow me, not many, but, I would get told totally different things. And I'm like, this is so confusing. How do I know? And a lot of the saltwater stuff can cost a lot of money if you spend it, and so I decided that Bob is an adult. I see that, Pam. I see that, Pam. Um, so I decided what I needed to do. Somebody actually said, not said, they just said you need a mentor. And then Chewy talks a lot about mentors, that he had a mentor for this or that. And so I just decided that I had to trust my local fish store because they had caught me a couple of times not doing what would be good for my new tank or not cycling it long enough or not. And so I just decided I have to trust them because they're going to be the bottom line when it comes to setting up my saltwater tank and all that. So that was one thing I thought that would be a good piece of advice that any of us could take. Or, like Terry, for instance, pick one person that you trust. And yeah, somebody else may have kept fish for 2 years. That's 2 years. There's so much to know about fish, and things evolve and change all the time. My problem is I've kept fish all my life, and so things are totally different, like 4 generations different now. So I have to unlearn and relearn and unlearn and relearn. Things come back around, and some things, were not so good, but, like box filters are, come back around. That's all we had back in the day. But not to get off on that, but, that would be a good thing to do, is just pick one person that you trust and that sounds like they know what they're doing, and let them be a resource and let them be a mentor for you. Because you're going to get 10 different opinions, if you ask 10 different people something. The example this morning was snails, and he was told so many different things about snails. And then when I told him, I said, I'm out of here, I got to do whatever, but I left it on, and was going about my business. And somebody else said, no, don't do what he said. They didn't say it that abruptly, but they just said, to help has been luck. I didn't mean anything bad about it. I love everyone's salt or help everyone's better life. Oh, no, I know you didn't. I'm just saying I felt bad for you this morning because what I gave you, in my opinion, was really good advice. And then somebody else said, ditch that. Don't listen to that, or don't take that advice. So I thought, how confusing must that be? And I think I even came back and said, I see why you're so confused. Because he was saying, I'm confused because so-and-so. He wasn't complaining or saying anything negative about us, but I mean, put yourself in his place or anybody knew's place or my place 2 years ago when I was learning about salt. So it's just a thought, because you'll see people in streams, they'll argue about things and say this back and forth and that back and forth. And it's really hard for new people. It turns new people off, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, there's a million different ways to skin a cat. Everybody does it different. And, but everybody's way is better than the other people's, apparently.
Right. So. Exactly. And James made a good point. He said you run into problems if you have hard water. Trying to mimic someone with soft water may not be the best ideal. Yeah, that's what I had to do, James, with the salt water right away, is they wanted to know about my water and my parameters and that kind of stuff. So a lot of times people don't ask till all their fish have died, well, what does your water come out of the faucet like? That's not the time to find all that out. So that's what people need to be finding out up front, is what they're working with to start with. But so often people say start with the nitrogen cycle. No, you shouldn't start with that. That's an important piece, obviously, but yeah, that's a good point, James. That gets overlooked so often. But yeah, you need to find preferably somebody like Ed and I would really be good to resource each other because we live in the same area. We have basically the same water and the same climate, all that. So we would be good. Anyway,
it was interesting. We were talking about box filters somewhere yesterday on one of the live streams. It wasn't James, but as I was talking about box filters today with my dad, because that was all he ever used was box filters.
yeah.
And I told him that nowadays they don't put. It was Joseph's stream. Maybe was Joseph talking about it? I don't remember whose stream it was, but he always put carbon in his.
Yeah. Yep.
And he was shocked that people don't do that anymore. And I said, well, you got plants and everything that help out.
Well, I was doing that up until maybe 5 years ago, and then somebody challenged me, and asked me why I was doing it. And I really didn't have a good reason to be doing it anymore. I don't use it in my salt water. Also about the salt water, I was challenged with it about that too. The only time I use carbon now is if I want to pull something out of the water, like copper or something. Yep, that's the only time. Yazi's decided that he wants to bark, so that's why I'm trying to move where we can't hear Yazi so well. He hears you, Ed.
Yeah, he probably does. If anybody had like a dog interpreter, he'd probably be like, I want to eat him. I want to eat him.
I want Ed. Bring Ed to me. Bring Ed to me now. Yazi's a trip. He likes Pam. He really likes Pam. I'm trying to get this where I can stand up. There we go.
Everybody likes Pam.
I know it. I told him I've got my Bluetooth on this and I don't need it on. It's my new little stick. He loves Pam. When she streams, he hears her. He has to have me hold him. So,
that's awesome.
Another piece to that, moving on through it, I'm going to move right on to the third thing, is that that's a snake back there, no tank, and we're not going to be able to see it anyway, and he's not out. So, is the thing about in the live stream, and I hate this. I look really good in this light. I look really good. I look like 20 years old in this light. Of course, I'm blind too. John Cox, I'm old school in many ways. Tech can get in the way. Same here, John. Same here. But in live streams, and you guys might be able to think of people right away. I also experienced this today. And the person that knows everything, or they think they know everything, and everything that comes up, they're giving advice about it, and they're talking about it. And, I think it was Dan's Fish that said something about unsolicited advice once, and that was in dealing with his streams. That's exactly what it is. It's unsolicited. I think if you're having a discussion, that's okay, but to be giving people advice when they're not asking for it, and also like on streams, on videos, if you go through, people will give you advice, and people give me advice on there, and I'm like, that's not right, that's wrong. Sometimes, most of the time it is, but I just put a heart on it. I mean, I just like it and go on. I'm not going to argue with people because I've done my fair share of that on YouTube. I'm not going to do it. Yes, sometimes there's an educational opportunity there, but I don't have that anymore in me to do that, with each person to go there. So, and anybody that's negative and berating and that kind of stuff, I just, they're gone for me. So, but yeah, it's just something to be conscious of, not speaking up all the time and offering advice, because a lot of times people get overwhelmed by it and they really don't want your advice. You should wait for them to ask for it, was my point with that. Having said that, I'm very guilty of doing that exact thing. Very guilty of it. So anyway,
I try not to because I'm afraid of saying something really, really stupid.
Well, me too.
And I definitely would never give advice to Dan.
No.
And I've seen the people that do that, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, oh well.
Yeah, I see people give Dan advice all the time or make a comment about do this or that. And I'm like, wow, really? Um, Lisa Perez just made a good point, and she said not all advice is with good intentions. And you do have that aspect of it too, you know. Sometimes people just want to make themselves feel better that they know more about a topic, or, you know, it's just really weird. But times are stressful enough without, you know, ripping the hobby apart like that and pulling each other down and being critical. You know, there are ways to do that. So anyway.
Well, and you know, it's like one time I talked about different ways to raise brine shrimp. You know, there's dozens of ways, and everybody does it differently. You know, just what works for you.
Yes.
But boy, I got a lot of comments on the right way to do it afterwards.
Right. Nick AM just made a good point too. He said that in the FishFam stream last night, Haley made a great point when she said to ask customers what they want, you know, what shrimp, what plant they want to be their centerpiece, and then start from there. And that's a great point. And then James says, most important thing to learn is that you should always be learning. And that's true. And that takes a while to learn that. But there's so much new in this hobby, and we learn more scientifically all the time. And I think it was in, I don't know whose stream it was in today. It might have been Joseph's stream, or it might have been Lucas' stream. I don't remember. One of those two. It was Joseph. And something came up about, Amber made the comment about bacteria, beneficial bacteria, and different types of it for different pHs. And I challenged that, not with her, but with Dan Slee, and said, no, there's only the one bacteria for fresh and one for salt. And actually, I had read some papers about that a couple of years ago when I was studying about beneficial bacteria for salt, which is totally different than fresh. But even my mentor didn't know that, because I asked, well, can I use the beneficial bacteria, you know, like the media for my freshwater? And they're like, we don't know. So, you know, I'm the one that asks all these questions, but I mean, I had to know that to do that. But so Dan has sent me some stuff that possibly is more current than that or more correct. So I appreciate that, because I don't want to be having a discussion when I don't have the correct information or the current information. So what James said is very true. You know, just because you're 64, 65, you know, 80, 70, you don't know everything, and things change, you know. So it's important to stay open and to continue to learn. That's what keeps it interesting. You know, it's fun to keep the fish, but at the end of the day, learning something new is what it's about.
Yep. For sure.
Oh my God, I feel like Preacher Bob. I do. I just get passionate about things sometimes. So. But I only ran off one person, it looks like, so that's good. Or unless we had a bunch of people came in and I ran a bunch off at the same time. So.
Well, Mob Guppy had to go to bed.
Did he?
I didn't say goodbye to him because you were talking.
Oh, okay. Well, Peter does go to bed very early. I'm surprised he's still up. And, you know, he's up at 3:45 in the morning, and he's on live stream. Yep, he's been on live streaming at 4 and 4:30 in the morning. And I told him the other morning that I just missed him by seconds. And then I said, it was like 10 o'clock when I saw his stream. He gets up and goes to work early, and then he's home, you know, not too long after lunch, apparently. Lily's talking about she tries not to inbreed her guppies. All right. Well, if anybody else has any more to add to that, please do. And feel free, you know, to come back and leave comments at the end. You know, and please feel free to join in and leave us some comments. You blanked out a minute there, Ed.
Oh, bummer. I didn't see anything on my side.
Dharma. Can y'all hear Yazi barking?
Yep. But that's all right.
He's not too loud, I hope. I've got 2 doors and 2 rooms between us. So
I think most people in the fish fam like pretty much every furry animal.
Well, that's good, because now I've got a cat on me. So Oh, Dharma, people don't want to see all that. They don't want to see all that.
I guess that was a tail.
Part of it, yep. She's sitting on my shoulder.
Oh, cool.
I just got here. Good vibes. Thank you, Sherry Berry. Sherry, I found one of your old stickers the other day, and I couldn't remember who it was. It said sushi on it, and I held it up, and Pam and some of them remembered whose it was. I had it on my desk. 17. I ran into the same issue with my finger. 17 different medical professionals with 17 different opinions. Yeah, and I was one of those. One of the jobs I had a million years ago, literally like 30 years ago, was manager of a burn unit at a big trauma center. And looking at that and measuring it, it would have been very unrealistic to expect that to granulate and close in like it has. So that's really impressive, James, that you're a mutant. You're a mutant. No, that it did that it didn't get infected. But, so that was my opinion, is that you needed to have it looked at and like some of that fake skin put over it or something. They have a lot of things different now since then, too. So
he's been squeezing axolotls all over it.
That'll do it. I didn't think about that. All with the best intentions.
Just squirt some of the stuff out of them onto it every day.
I know, like aloe. Everybody used to, the aloe thing, everybody used to do that. But yeah. Yeah, I was worried about you, James, but thank goodness.
Yeah. I'm glad his finger didn't fall off.
I was just worried about infection because that was really deep. Yeah, Joseph makes a good point. It's good to do your research and get multiple good sources and not say that YouTube was my source. But I'm guilty of that too. I look at, this one because they have 100,000 people or because they have a bachelor's degree in biology or they, that doesn't mean they know what they're talking about. If they haven't done a scientific study, they don't know. One of the ones I remember, and so many people have done this one, back on the podium again, people, back up to the podium, was somebody did a study, well-intentioned, but about cory cats and if, different kinds of substrates really did wear their barbels down. Well, there were several different, 3 or 4 kinds of substrate, so that part was fine. And they used several of their different little cories, different kinds of cories in the tanks. And so what's wrong with the study? Maybe some cories have tougher barbels, or maybe some grew up on this substrate and some didn't. And I tried to make that point, but people said I was being picky, but Corey, when he was in Peru, collected, cories that were on jagged rocks and their barbels were fine. So that would seem to dispute that, that sand and, things. So, but there's always going to be somebody that passes along misinformation as good information.
I think it's that eco-complete that a lot of people were worried about. But I didn't know about that until after I put the eco-complete in, and I've got like 12 cory cats in there, but they all still swim around, and it's been over a year and a half, so I haven't seen anything matter.
None of them need to shave anymore, though.
They all. I think I've had 2 die, maybe, but they had their burbles. I don't know why they died.
I have seen fish that have barbels with them worn down before, back in the day, and they do get infected easily because they have their mouths down in, the stuff that's dirty and the mulm and, all that stuff that most of the fish don't. So I understand where something like that came from, it can happen, but I don't know. There's a lot of, I'm going to have to go back and look at this and read these because there are lots and lots of good comments out here. Chewy's saying the bad bacteria that can be in the substrates at Kaler's. Yeah, that's what I was, Yep. And Candy let us know that Danny's going live in, we're probably about 12 minutes now.
Oh, jeepers, wow.
She gave
That's
us a
awesome.
15-minute. So we'll have to have a hashtag to go over there.
Maybe
James is
missing
proud.
man. Our woman power,
Yeah.
girl power.
I never care what they are. What is Candy giving Griffin trouble about something?
Boy, I wish I would have brought my glasses. I do think it's important to, cannot find your information from multiple sources, and I can't say YouTube had been my number one source of information. Okay. Yeah, I think you read that one earlier. You
Yeah.
just wanted to be mean to me to try to make my eyes work.
I was scrolling and Tibby hit my elbows. What happened? He had to get up here too since the arm was hanging onto my neck. That's what happened.
I thought you popped it up there because you didn't want to read it.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Well, what's worse is I think I read that earlier over here too.
Oh, Susan says you can read that one, Ed, if you want to.
Oh, I don't want to. You read it, or I'll find it over here. You just read it.
Susan for I was giving you an easy one. Susan for SLC Aquatic says, if anyone hasn't found their newsletter or having issues, please email me. And Susan, if you'll type your email in the chat, I will put it up there as well. If you want, I know it's public. Ronan says, how are you, Bob and Ed? I'm good. Ed said he was good too.
Yep. It's great to see you. Amy says, what's wrong with EcoComplete? EcoComplete is wonderful for growing plants and stuff. It's just some people think that it's a little too sharp for catfish or, bottom fish. And we're not saying it is or isn't. Right, Bob? Or you can give your advice.
Oh, I've never used it, so I have no idea about it. I would imagine that it's not if nothing else is found to be, or, I don't know. I've never had any catfish, and one of my addictions, besides rainbows now and plecos, is cory cats, and it has been a long-standing one. I hardly have a tank that doesn't have a cory or several types of cories in it. So none of them have any issues with their barbels. So there's John, KG Tropical Super Sticker, $20. Thank you, John. I don't know what it says, though.
It says, thanks for being you. And it's like a peach, or a pear, rather, looking at itself in a mirror.
Oh.
It has like a little thing around its head, and it's doing a little thing.
Thank you, John. I know that one.
I'm thinking of when Dan does his little part, and then I just. And Amy from Sand Creek Aquatic said, what about shrimp? Shrimp can handle it. No worries about them. They're tough little suckers. Nothing bothers a shrimp. They'll clean it off.
That's the second super chat. I always donate anything I get from my channel. I've got merch now. I should have been plugging that, shouldn't I?
Oh yeah,
I should have been. I know I never think of that, but I just got it the other day. But yeah, super chats and income from videos, anything like that, I donate to the ARC. So because I donate there anyway, so it just helps me with my donations. So. It's like I don't need any tanks or fish. Come on. So, Susan, did you put your email in there? If you did, thank you, Dharma, for ripping my shirt. Dharma's tearing my shirt up. Thank you, Dharma.
Your shirts are super neat. Anthony Fish Friends has posted one. He's got the Codfather shirt, which is just amazing. But your channel shirt that has like your logo is super cool too, Bob.
All right, that's the Kaler's Aquatics merch there.
Yep.
Sandy Sand Creek Aquatics saying she can't find it. There's the link, Amy, right above there. So I have trouble finding it too, and I need to learn how to put it in, have it come up in each description, or maybe people know and I don't know. But like on TubeBuddy, is there a way to put all of your links and stuff in each video without having to do it manually each time? I need to go ahead and do that in there. So,
The only bummer about Bob's shirts is they only go up to 2X, and I'm a 3X guy, so I'm losing weight just so I can wear Bob's shirts.
Actually, that Bubbles shirt that I gave you is a 2X, Ed, and I thought those were sized a little small, and I told John that, and he said I was the only one that had said it. Of course, that couldn't mean that I had gained a little weight in the last couple of weeks. But I can wear the 2X. It was just a little bit tighter than they usually feel. So.
Yeah, it was tight, but it's still pretty cool. So
yeah,
and I'm definitely going to lose. Thanks.
It
looks super cool.
Yeah, I like the shirts. Mine's dirty right now, and Anthony won one of them. So
awesome.
Yep. Yeah, there's a Codfather shirt that Streetwise Jason found that says the Codfather on it, but it's sold out in my size as well, which is a 2X. They've got the smaller sizes, but I even emailed them and they haven't answered me back. Like, are you going to restock those? Or I could have one made. Well, you're going to have them made anyway. We're going to get them made. So
yeah.
Right. What time is it getting to be? I sure don't want to. Danny's.
You have 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
All right, guys. Thank you all for listening to my sermonettes. And I really appreciate all the participation, Ed, and everybody that, talked up in the chat. And I'm going to let Ed take us out completely tonight because he has a lot more experience doing that than I do. And also let him do our hashtag for us. But I will see you guys. We're going to get off maybe a minute early, it looks like, Ed. How about that? I'll see you guys on Wednesday at 6. And then remember, Haley, Oddball Aquatics, she'll be here next Sunday night at 8 because we're sharing this time slot. There it is. We're sharing this time slot every other week. If she's not here, then I will be there, for her. We have the time. So yeah, thank you guys. And Ed, will you close us out, please?
Yep. Thank you, everybody, for coming and listening to Bob and I ramble on about all sorts of different stuff. We'll be here every other week sharing the time spot with Haley, as he just said. And also check out Bob on Wednesdays for an hour of who knows where he'll be. It's always exciting and fun. Thank you so much to all the mods here. I know I see Candy and Anthony and Sandy Doherty's here. Thank you for the super chats. We really appreciate that. Pam's here and Recon. Thank you guys so much for doing a great job on modding tonight. And thank you everybody for just coming out and listening and having fun. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Oh, what's our hashtag?
Let's say hashtag women power.
Women.
Or girl power. Women or girl power? Girl power.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ed.
You bet.
See you over at Daniken's.